Welcome to Understand the Math. Today I'm going to teach you how to write multiple inequalities or restrictions using interval notation. Knowing how to do this is essential when you need to find the domain of a function. I'll outline some steps that you can follow and walk through 3 example problems. Be sure to check out the link below for free guided notes that you can use while you watch this video. There's space in the notes for you to highlight the steps that we'll go over and fill out the answers to the examples that we're going to do. This way, you'll have a set of notes to refer back to when you need to study for a quiz or an exam. I've outlined steps and guidelines that we can follow to write inequalities using interval notation. I'll explain more about these as we walk through our 3 example problems. In our first example, we want to write the inequalities or restrictions x is greater than 1 and less than 4, and x is greater than or equal to 2 and less than or equal to 6. The first step listed above is to write the numbers and their circles from the inequalities on a number line. Our numbers are 1, 4, 2, and 6. Let's put these on our number line. We have 1, 2, 4, and 6. We'll use open circles to indicate that 1 and 4 are not included, and we'll use closed circles at 2 and at 6 to indicate that these numbers are included. The second step is to mark the given intervals with lines using one line for each inequality. To indicate that x is between 1 and 4, we'll draw a solid line starting at 1 and going to 4. To indicate that x is between 2 and 6, we'll draw another line and we'll start that line at 2 and end that line at 6. The third step above is to mark the intervals that will be included in the answer. An and between 2 inequalities indicates that we can only include the points that are common to both inequalities. These are going to be the points between 2 and 4. The fourth and last step above is to mark where we have parentheses and where we have brackets. Parentheses are going to be used wherever we have a less than or greater than symbol, and brackets are going to be used wherever we have a less than or equal to symbol or a greater than or equal to symbol. 2 is included, so we'll put a bracket at that point, and 4 is not included, so we'll put a parenthesis at that point. Our solution is going to be 2, 4 with a bracket at 2 and a parenthesis at 4. Let's now do our second example. It's very similar to our first example, except now we have an or between the 2 inequalities instead of an and. We'll begin by writing our numbers and their corresponding circles on our number line, starting with the smallest number, which is 1. Just like above, we have a 1, we have a 2, we have a 4, and we have a 6. 1 is not included, 2 is included, 4 is not included, and 6 is included. We'll now mark each interval with a line. We have an interval between 1 and 4, and another interval between 2 and 6. We now need to determine which intervals will be included in the answer. And or between 2 inequalities indicates that we can include points that are in one interval or the other. They don't need to be in both intervals. The points that will be included are going to be in this interval or in this interval. Our last step is to mark where we have parentheses and where we have brackets. We have a parenthesis at 1 and a bracket at 6. Our final answer is then 1, 6, with a parenthesis at 1 and a bracket at 6. Hang with me, we have one more example to finish, and it's different than these 2 examples. I chose to include this example because it came up when I was teaching how to find the domain of a function in a pre-calculus course, and many students found it to be challenging. For this example, we have x is not equal to -2, 0, and 1, and x is greater than or equal to minus 4. We'll begin by writing our numbers and their corresponding circles on our number line, starting with the smallest number, which is negative 4. We have minus 4, minus 2, 0, and then 1. Minus 4 is included, and then the rest of the numbers, minus 2, 0, and 1, are not included because x is not equal to those numbers. Since we only have one inequality, we'll only have one line to draw. We'll mark that x is greater than or equal to negative 4 by drawing a line starting at negative 4 and going to the right. We'll then highlight this line. Let's now put in our parentheses and our brackets. Negative 4 is included, so we'll put a bracket at that point, and then the other points are not included, so we'll put parentheses around those points. Our final answer will then be minus 4 with a bracket, comma minus 2. And then to indicate that we're joining intervals, we're going to put a union sign. And then we have minus 2, 0, union, 0, 1, union, 1, and every number after 1, so that becomes 1, comma, infinity. I hope that you now feel more comfortable using interval notation to represent any set of inequalities or restrictions, and you're ready to practice these types of problems on your own. If this video has been helpful to you, please consider subscribing to my channel. Keep believing in yourself and have a great rest of your day.